changing within the boundary of our houses. Welcome everyone. Today I, Pragati Pandey, on behalf of Team Udan, is here to introduce you to a short interview session in which we would be dealing with information, guidance, and boosting up the morale of the student all over the country. Now, I would like to introduce to our honorable guest, Mrs. Mansi Ratke. She comes from the education field and is the professor of very renowned university, VNIT Nagpur. We welcome you, ma'am.
Welcome. Thank you.
As a student, we have many doubts and queries regarding the education system in current scenario. So we are going to ask you such type of question which will be dealing with the student's life.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, as a professor, what changes do you observe in the current era of education system?
So basically today's era is of the internet. Like every student has access to internet, and there is so much information available that if you really want to learn something, you have plethora of possibilities for you to learn. There are video lectures, there is material, authentic material, and there are good universities with which through their e-outreach programs they make their lectures online. Like we have MIT courseware, NPTEL videos, and all these things are really very playing a catalyst role in the lives of students. And what they can do is basically take help of all this information and they can gain information. But where the role of teacher comes is how you assess the students and show them the mirror and show them where they stand, and take them through the path, like guide them through the channel, because along with information there is misinformation also on the internet. So if they are not pointed to the right material, they may end up learning something incorrect, because everybody posts what they think about everything, not necessarily that is an authentic and correct information.
Yes.
So all these things are important. And secondly, there are two kinds of learning. One is to the point learning, which we can get from anywhere, but the general learning which comes through the rigorous programs which the institute offers, and the students go through them with the rigor and the assessments and the work pressure and the interacting with other students, and all these things cannot be achieved unless you go through that program. So it's important.
So, ma'am, in today's time, we see that the schools and the colleges have been shut down due to this coronavirus, and people are moving
Right.
forward towards the online classes. Means many school and education institutions are taking online classes. So, what is your opinion?
Right.
Is it beneficial, or what about its productivity?
Well, online classes are not a substitute for classroom teaching, but for the time being, it's a temporary solution and it's a good alternative. Something is better than nothing, and we can try doing something at the level of. So, if like I know people even undergo music classes online, so it's not as natural and effective as a face-to-face teaching, but it's something better than not doing it at all. So I think for the time being, till the situation is in control and things get better, there's no harm in having online teaching, but it's not something which can be done in the long run.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, now we have seen that many students of all over the country have been promoted. The intermediate students have been promoted from one semester to another. So, what is your
Right.
view about that? Will it
Well,
reduce
I
the
am
quality of education of the children?
Yes, I am against promoting directly. There can be some kind of assessment which can be done. Like, for example, for my course, I am teaching data structures this semester. So, I am taking a rigorous Viva and grilling them on every line of the code they have written so that they know what they are doing. And if they know what they are doing, then only I will. And there is some basic level which they have to prove that they know the basics. Otherwise, how can they be promoted? So there is this kind, means bringing the students physically to the college and taking exams is one option. But if that is not possible, then we have other options like we can ask them to give viva, we can ask them to submit assignments. So there can be various ways, multiple choice questions, open book test, something which is thought provoking and makes them think. So all these things can be done.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, as we've seen that different courses are available right now on internet. Because of the lockdown, people are moving forward towards the online courses. So, what do you
Right.
think about its productivity, authenticity? That how much productive or beneficial it will be for us?
It's basically, see, like if students have time and they go through these courses, it's up to them to make the best of it. So they can definitely learn from those. Like there are very authentic and good websites like MIT OpenCourseWare, Udacity, then this Coursera, NPTEL, all these things, if they study, there's no harm in that. So they can definitely learn something and do some skill upgradation, some skill development. And that's always a good thing to do apart from their curriculum.
Ma'am,
And
now we
there
see
are
that.
exercises also. Yeah.
Ma'am, now we see.
There are exercises.
Yes, ma'am.
There are exercises also in those courses, and if they go through those exercises, it may help them a lot. Means it will be a application of what they learn and try to do hands-on on that. So it will help them a lot.
Okay, ma'am.
So what is going to suffer is basically branches like civil and metallurgy, where they need the labs, chemistry where they need the labs. So that practical knowledge gaining is going to really suffer in physics, chemistry, civil, metallurgy, and such branches. But there are many branches where simulators are there and you can learn something through them. So we have to think of alternate options and try doing something and face the situation rather than sitting idle.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, as we have seen that many children have lost their touch with the studies right now because due to unavailability of the internet or mobile phones in some rural areas. So, what other alternative can be taken by the education institutions or professors to remain in touch with the students as well as their studies?
If there's no internet, it's a very big problem in rural areas. Like I have some students who don't have electricity also. So one of my students was telling me that his father charges his mobile at office, brings it to home in the evening. He works on it whole night, and then in the morning he again takes it back for charging. So these kind of situations are very tricky, but then there are students who have all facilities and that they are not doing that good, but students in hardships also are working well. So it depends. If you have a will, there is a way. So you have to find out some alternate options and find out, because some kind of studies or evaluation has to be there.
Ma'am, we have seen that due to the schools are shut and the colleges are not opening soon, so we see that there's no extracurricular activities of the children. So, is it going to hamper their, personality as well as because everything is very necessary for the overall development? So, what will be the
Yes.
effect of this?
Yes, but see, pandemics will come and go. There have been dengue, there has been swine flu, there has been plague, and other things which have come in the past. This is a pandemic which is going to come and go, and it will be with us for some time, and then herd immunity will be developed. So after that, it will become a routine thing. Like we get cough fever, swine flu, dengue, we can get corona also. So the thing is, students have to understand that, and they have to really focus on their work as much as they can do.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, so what do you think that about the reopening of the school and colleges as well? What will be the time of this? Because of the
So,
current situation we see.
well, colleges cannot be shut for a very long time, and the canvas of life is very big. So, as you were talking about extracurricular activities, if students don't do extracurricular for a year or so, they are not going to suffer forever. They will get opportunities before that and after that, and someone who wants to do something, they will definitely get opportunities. But for the time being, it's the best situation to handle by using social distancing and be aware and be away from each other. And about reopening of the schools, I think schools have to reopen at some point. For small kids, it's debatable because they are really young and vulnerable, and so if schools promotes students and allow them to join school late or something, that's understandable. Just if they are in 8th 9th class, then the basics which need to be covered for this year and which they have missed, they should be covered with some extra coaching in the next year, and some alternate arrangements have to be done. But ultimately schools have to reopen. We can't sit and say that there is pandemic for a very long time. Life has to run and the show has to go on, so that's the whole thing.
So, ma'am, once this pandemic is over, so we have seen many new phenomena in our life, that is social distancing, then sanitization. So, how will the education institution move forward this? Because we cannot sit the five students in one bench in the school as well. So, how will the
Yeah,
education institution will be?
so options are like, first thing, you can split the students into sections. You can do mirroring of the timetable, like if morning half is say lecturing and afternoon half is lab, then half of the students undergo lab in the first half and classes in the second half. Half of the students undergo classes in the second half and lab in the first half. So in this way they can be mirrored. Then we can have it will be a tricky thing to do the timetabling and see how best resources can be used. But again, in India, infrastructure is a problem, and technical availability is also a problem. So it's a challenge for everyone, and let's see how going forward we handle all this.
Ma'am. Ma'am, during the economic recession of 2008, there was increase in the application for the higher studies of the student. So, do you think the scenario will be same at this time also?
Yes, US universities and other universities have deferred the admission of students by a year or so, and they have given them option to join later. And I think after a year, how the situation is, we can't say now. Time will tell, but it seems like it will be rolling again. And because now companies are not hiring and there is recession, so students will be provoked to go for higher education. And among higher education options, studying abroad and getting a international exposure and a global degree for the long term is a preferable option, is what every student thinks. And so MS admissions are likely to increase, in my
Okay.
opinion.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, in future, can we see the students going to abroad and studying? Because in the whole US and Europe side, we see the coronavirus, has a huge effect. So, will the student prefer to go out of the country for their further studies?
Well, this is one aspect of it. So you have to weigh your options, and it's a very personal decision whether to study abroad or not. But I think it will be a year or two for which the number of students going abroad will reduce, but again, it will pick up.
Okay. Now we're moving towards the end of our conversation. So I would ask you some question related to this pandemic. So, ma'am, as a professor, what changes do you observe in your personal life as well as professional life that you are facing due to this pandemic?
So in my personal life, I think it was a challenge initially to adapt to the situation and to accept that something like this is happening. And there was no idea that it's not going to end like suddenly. So every lockdown was announced, and I used to think at the end of the lockdown, college will reopen and I'll go to college and resume my work. But then after the second lockdown, I realized that this is just going on. So I started working from home, and means it was very challenging to do all the household tasks and also the work. And then there are many challenges, like people who have other people I know who have kids at home. How do they take lectures, online lectures from home, because the kids will be disturbing. So there were many challenges. So some people don't have enough room space to have a separate room for themselves to just concentrate on their work. So there were many challenges. So initially it was difficult to adjust, but then you come to terms with it and you try to uh, adjust, like whatever is in the situation, you want to do best in that situation.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, we have seen that we are moving forward towards unlockdown now, but the cases are increasing rapidly. And now people are becoming more careless about this sanitization and social distancing as well. So, what advice would you like to give to those people who are just roaming for no use outside?
Well, it's responsibility of every citizen to fight this pandemic, and it's a united effort. So everyone has to take their part of the responsibility. So they have to be really careful. And my advice is, whatever government is saying and whatever precautions are to be done, they are to be followed unitedly by everyone, so that it's beneficial for the society at large, and that should be taken care.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, any suggestion that you would like to give to the students who are at home and they are getting depressed or bored due to this lockdown period and they are not able to make the use of their time?
Well, I think managing your own mind is a very big thing, and you have to not get bogged down by such challenges. Ups and downs will come in life and they will go. So you have to make the best of whatever situation is at your hand, because situation is not in your control, but the response to the situation is always in your control. So how you respond to whatever is happening to you is always in your control. So you have to take charge of your life and try to focus on it. And the students, we can't monitor the students in exams and their assignments like we can do them in person. So they have to be honest to themselves, and they have to be away from plagiarism. They have to be away from copying and other bad practices, and they have to just focus on being honest to what they are doing. So that's my only advice to students, and be aware of the situation and fight it as a united effort.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us your valuable time and suggestion. I think all the students who would be listening to him, to this, would be very grateful, and we are very much honored by you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for connecting with us.
Okay. Thank you. It was nice meeting you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.